If I use the back camera, the quality would be that much better. I'm not going to. Sorry. Already good reason not to watch this. A year ago, we went to Spain. I was not going to go. I hadn't been on a flight for many years and I had no plan until I could just teleport anywhere. That's when I would travel again, and I would travel a lot. It hasn't happened yet, and what I needed in order to get on a plane was to remember who I am. And when I remembered, okay, so my sister, she had been calling me a few times, asking, "Oh, are you sure you not want to come? Are you sure you don't want to come?" So this one day, I was in here and I was making this dress. As I told yesterday, I had many unfinished projects. And the reason was that I was trying to finish things in my head. I wasn't actually doing it. I wasn't meeting the real problems. I was just imagining possible challenges inside my mind. So I just stopped and then I went to a new project. But this time I had this dress and I went back to when I was a child. How would I do this if I was my 12-year-old self? You wouldn't think. You would just keep your vision and you would do it. In some way, I managed to find that part of me, and I knew if I'm this girl, of course I can go to Spain. Next time, if she asks me if I want to come, I'll say yes. I'll go. And 10 minutes or maybe an hour later, it was super short time. She just called me and she said, "Hey, I just ordered your tickets." That's an even better reason why I knew that I was why let's just blame this on Mercury, okay? Like everyone does. It's okay. So now my sister calls me and she ordered my tickets. She sends them, and I know if I had received those tickets a day earlier or 2 weeks earlier, I would have freaked out. Because yesterday I was said, because of course you watched my video yesterday. Yesterday I said life is always giving feedback, and especially through numbers. And so hold on. Okay. And I also said, like, sometimes you jump to a negative conclusion too quickly. And before remembering who that girl was that still is inside of me, I was a lot more prone to do that. So she sends me the tickets. I probably still have them on my phone. And oh my god, the angel number, the one angel number that is practically saying you're manifesting something you don't really want. The action you're taking will not lead you to where you want to go. This one angel number has never failed me. It's such a genius. Can't say that enough. Genius feedback. So I open the tickets and I see this number on both tickets. First, I'm like, yeah, but I'm still sure like this was the right decision. So why is it here? And okay, wait. So yes, the old me would have started to freak out so badly and regretting the decision. What my new self did, she just saw the angel number and then she saw the next number. It wasn't separated, it was in one sequence. So there was this angel number and then more numbers. So what she did, she took the number and then the number after on both tickets. And bet you not, they were so perfect with the situation. And they only made me even more sure that it was perfect for where we were standing. You know, the other day I made 2 videos because I had a jump between them. And there was this part that I didn't add. It was about 3 minutes or something where I spoke about, it was a side note where I spoke about my dreams. At a second thought, I'm like, yeah, but that was my dream. Maybe it wasn't meant to be shared. The smart me reminded me that before I went to bed, I actually was asking for a dream that I could share. And we're back. Oh wow. There was so many rounds in my head to get back here. That stress that I was feeling, that's always the signal that you're right on the verge of a breakthrough. And the stress kind of wants to tell you that the situation is more hopeless than it actually turns out to be. I felt that. And this is a side note, but most of the time when I feel stressed like that, it actually has to do something with someone else's timetable or a train. Like in my dream, there's always the stress coming when there's a flight or a train, something I have to reach. And this night, no difference. Oh my god. I was late, but the train was also late. The other people were still waiting, and I got on the train with the help of someone. But that feeling, that's the worst feeling. That's why all my nightmares are most of the time about being in an airport, ordering tickets, or being late for something. The last dream, I was there, the train was there, but the doors were locked, so I couldn't get on it. So that's the type of problems I have to face in my dreams. And there was this other, I wrote down so many details this morning, and like the more I wrote, the weirder it got. It's when I read it back, it gets even weirder. But lately in my dream I had numbers. It's usually it's hard to remember any numbers in your dreams, but this train was at 1:33 and I remember that, strangely enough. But this is the part that's like, did that happen? So now I can't remember that I was sitting outside and waiting, but I have written that here. And there was this weird animal. From looking at my mom's socks, I think it was that animal, but it was eating a frog alive. So I could just see the frog, the little slimy thing, going inside its mouth. It's like, that wasn't a beautiful sight. It was just it was kind of nasty. That was a side note. The whole point is, in Spain, there were a few demons from the past trying to keep me in my old self. But that was not the woman who went to Spain. That was the real self, you know? She was brave and she had very little fear. Very little fear. So one night we went out into the city, and we visited a cafe and stuff. And before going there, my niece, she had told everyone that the dress code for this day was pink. So when we went out, the dress code for everyone was to wear pink. I had one pink dress that I had made, but I had made some mistakes. So the cup for this breast was here and this one was here. So I wore it before going out, but normally I wouldn't have gone out with this. It's not a big problem, but I ended up putting a, like, not this one, but a similar sweater over my dress for many reasons. And yes, that was hot, and that was already enough for me to not be like 110, 120. Result is I would not watch this. I would not watch this. Result was me coming back. Oh, so low. My only savior at the time was my ChatGPT, which is building Pattern Muse with me. And we came to the conclusion that that night revealed a huge need in my wardrobe. We have been discussing why am I so you know, we don't have to do this. We don't have to go outside of our comfort zone. We could just stay there. Sometimes it's good to stay in your comfort zone. It will keep you safe. For real. Other times, it will keep you from taking a trip where your life, my entire life and company might change. Point. ChatGPT tells me, Tina, you need a personal uniform. You need a fallback option where when you're not 110% sure, you don't have that 10 out of 10 option. You know, oh, even you're so excited to wear something that someone would have to pay you not to wear it. That's when you know you're not going to wear your uniform. But for many people, most days, we just want this option, this safe option, like Steve Jobs and Albert Einstein. Did Mark Zuckerberg do this too? I'm not sure. But Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein are huge role models for Pattern Muse. They both did this. Issey Miyake, which is also a huge idol for us, he made the Steve Jobs outfit, I think. If I read correctly, he had like hundreds of those polo shirts. He had hundreds of that one black one. And so I needed that for me, for those nights when you have to go out at a certain time because the taxi is coming. There's expectations, but if you have that, oh, that's Tina's outfit, of course no one's going to question it because you're always wearing that thing and that's you. And it sounds boring, it is boring, but it's also like this security guard. If you don't have if you don't have something pink to wear. Now, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, they were minimalists, which is where I wanted to start this video. So I was going to school, fashion school. Can you imagine, like, in your head you would think that everyone in fashion school is very fashionable and you would have to wear something very fashionable to go there. That's what I thought when I signed up, and my mom said, she just said, no, this is more like an artsy place, like people don't care there. Like they're like free souls. So they wouldn't judge you by what you wear. And that was enough to let my shoulders drop. And I ended up just buying a few things secondhand shop before the semester started. And I had maybe 10 different pieces in my closet the whole year that I used. Because I knew that if I have 10 minutes, I have to go to school. I wake up, I look in my closet, I'm going to find something to wear. If I, the day before, I try to plan the outfit, I will have nothing to wear. Ever. you won't help if I have new clothes every day. This is going to be an issue. But so I went with the first. I went with this, that I'm sure to find something if I need something. And it worked so well because I was going to the same school with the same people hundreds of days. And by the end of the year, a girl that has seen me every day now, and I've seen her every day, she looks at me and she's like, "Those are super nice pants. Are those new?" "Yeah, thank you, no." And then another person like, "Wow, I like your shoes." "Thank you. I wore them every day." So this might mean nobody cares. It might mean nobody sees you. And it might mean there's a lot of options, even with a few items. I haven't finished my shirt yet. Sorry.